a feared and renowned assassin, known in the underworld as the legendary killer. He's Taro Sakamoto, so skilled he can take down a gang solo. He blocks bullets, dodges them. If his gun doesn't kill you, his crowbar will. Sakamoto was feared by criminals and respected by assassins. I say was because he's retired now. One day, while shopping, he fell for the cashier. Something we've all experienced at some point. But Sakamoto truly fell in love with Aoi. He left the assassin world, married her, and had a baby girl they named Hana. Now Sakamoto's just a family man running a small shop and a bit chubby. But as they say, you can't escape your past without facing it first. In his store, as usual, there's a mischievous kid trying to hit the bullseye with his arrow. He misses, goes to retrieve it, and his backpack opens up. A bottle of ink falls just as a man in white pants walks by, and his pants get completely stained. The man angrily grabs the child, who gets scared and apologizes. But as he moves, he accidentally steps on the man's white pants, leaving another stain. Now the man is furious and about to hit the boy, but Sakamoto stops him and imagines stabbing a pencil in his throat. But he only did this in his mind. Remember, he's not a killer anymore. Then a guy named Shin says he saw how Sakamoto killed the man in his mind, claiming he's a psychic who can read minds. Sakamoto, not in the mood for games, imagines killing Shin instantly. Shin, frightened, begs him to stop killing people in his mind. It turns out Shin was Sakamoto's former colleague. Both excelled at their job, and Shin always admired his mentor. He still does, but can't stand seeing him so unkempt now. Sakamoto's now got a huge double chin. He doesn't speak to Shin, who can only read his mind. Shin hears Sakamoto refusing to return to his assassin ways. Shin gets angry, reminding him he was once the legendary killer, feared by criminals and revered by assassins. Now he's just a fat old man. Shin lights a cigarette to calm down, but Sakamoto swiftly breaks it, as smoking's banned in the store. Shin's amazed at Sakamoto's quick reflexes. Shin realizes this is a sign that Sakamoto could kill him anytime if he wanted. Just then, a man approaches Sakamoto asking for a favor, to maintain his tree. Then a woman asks him, he asks her to make her daughter eat vegetables. Then some kids cry because they can't play together without two balls. So Sakamoto splits his ball in two so they have two balls to play with. Seeing all of this, Shin notices Sakamoto's become the nice old man who helps everyone in the neighborhood. He's likely hiding his assassin identity, but Shin says he'll be back. Before leaving, the mischievous kid shoots an arrow at his head. Then Shin returns to his car to leave, but thinks about how Sakamoto still has that mystical aura of a great assassin. Though now just a kind old man, Shin still admires him like day one, squirming with joy in his car at seeing his master again. As the car shakes, like there's a couple getting frisky inside, a nearby mom shields her kid's eyes to avoid trauma. Just then, Shin gets a call from his boss, asking if he's done the job. By job, I mean killing Sakamoto. Shin says it's not necessary because Sakamoto is not a threat now, but his boss wants him dead not for that, but because Sakamoto left the assassin group and deserters must die. So Shin has to complete his mission. He thinks back, remembering his time with Sakamoto. He admires him, but knows if he doesn't do it, his boss will send someone who will. So Shin decides he'd rather finish Sakamoto off himself. He returns to the store while the mischievous kid's distracted by something gross. Shin, focused, enters the shop and apologizes to Sakamoto. Shin shoots, but Sakamoto deflects the bullet by spitting his cough drop. Sakamoto throws ice cream, making Shin lose sight of him. Though Shin can read minds, he can't hear Sakamoto's thoughts despite his proximity. Sakamoto creates a diversion, then bombards Shin with cough drops. When Shin's exposed, Sakamoto ends the fight with a powerful kick. Before blacking out, Shin recalls he'll never match his master's skill. Shin wakes up to see Hana and Oi standing over him. Turns out Shin's at Sakamoto's place. He was there all along. Sakamoto lives above his store, Oi cooks, and Shin settles in. He's on edge, thinking the food's poisoned. After all, why would Sakamoto invite him over after he tried to kill him? Shin, trained to resist poison, tastes the food. His face lights up with pure joy. Oi chuckles, recalling Sakamoto's similar reaction when he first tried the food. That's when Shin realizes that for an assassin, living such a normal life must be precious. He figures Sakamoto wants to protect these everyday moments, which is why he's sworn off being a killer for good. As Shin leaves, Sakamoto tells him he's welcome at the shop anytime. Shin walks away, head down, refusing to kill Sakamoto. He reports this to his boss, begging on his knees not to target Sakamoto, but the boss has made up his mind. Shin offers his own life in exchange for Sakamoto's. The boss agrees, telling Shin to kill himself to leave Sakamoto alone, verbally, but mentally he plans to kill Sakamoto after Shin's death. Sakamoto. Shin reads this thought, triggering a shootout. Sakamoto overhears all this, and though retired, he still has his arsenal. He decides to go after Shin. Sakamoto gears up to find Shin. Shin evades easily by reading minds, anticipating the thugs' moves. The boss warns them about this ability, ordering them to attack from afar to avoid mind reading. This strategy catches Shin off guard. He takes out 2 more thugs, but a bullet hits his leg. Immobilized, he faces the boss and thugs with guns aimed at him. Shin accepts fate, but Sakamoto arrives, shocks thugs, and blocks bullets with chopsticks. Sakamoto overpowers the remaining thugs, sending them flying without killing them. Remember, Sakamoto's done with killing. He whips out 2 knives, breaks the remaining guns, and takes down the gang leader. Sakamoto rescues Shin. Shin asks how he found him. When Sakamoto knocked him out, he planted a tracking mic on Shin's gun. That's how he knew everything that was happening. Shin thanks him and says he's leaving town, but Sakamoto tosses him an apron, offering 800 yen an hour, about $5, with overtime for extra hours. Sakamoto hires Shin for his shop. Shin didn't ask, but it's not a request. So Shin's back working with Sakamoto, not as killers, but it's better than nothing. Shin's organizing stuff when the kid we know asks him to play, but Shin can't now that he's got a job. The kid asks if he's worked before, and Shin overhears Sakamoto thinking if he tells anyone he's an ex-killer, he'll kill them. So Shin nervously tells the kid he was a cleaner, which isn't a lie. He cleaned up thugs. Shin praises Sakamoto for nearly taking out all those thugs last night. Aoi, hearing about Sakamoto's violence, gets angry. She reminds him, break the family's no-killing rule and she'll file for divorce. Sakamoto's face drops at the thought of losing the woman he loves. He assures them that none of those thugs died by his hand. Shin asks about this family rule, but Sakamoto mentally silences him. Shin tells him to stop killing him in his mind. They head to Chinatown for pork buns, their daughter's favorite. Suddenly, a girl falls from a window, crashing into Sakamoto and ruining the buns. The girl, Lucha Otang, a martial arts expert, was being chased by thugs. She fends off some attackers while Shin urges Sakamoto to get up due to the dangerous situation. Sakamoto, however, is sad, thinking Hana will cry because she won't be able to eat her favorite buns. The situation with Lucha Otang escalates. A thug pulls a knife, but Sakamoto easily disarms him while Shin takes down another. As more people arrive after Lucha Otang, Sakamoto grabs her and they flee. Meanwhile, there's a man who wants her dead. He's after her because Lucha Otang has a key to a vault that he believes would give him total control of Chinatown's black market. His agent is then beheaded by Bacho, who's accompanied by his brother Sonji. The boss sends these brothers to retrieve the key, not caring who they have to kill to get it. Lucha Otang escapes with Shin and Sakamoto across rooftops. Shin asks her why were those thugs chasing her. She explains they're after her key, which opens her clan's vault. Inside are treasures passed down for generations. Shin suggests giving up the key, saying no treasure's worth her life. But Lucha Otang refuses to part with it. Her parents died protecting this key when the mafia attacked, wiping out their clan. Lucha Otang escaped, vowing to guard the key with her life just as her parents did. Sakamoto offers help for pork buns. Confused, Lucha watches Bacho kick him flying. The killer twins arrive, and Chiaotang recognizes them. They're ruthless assassins who decapitate victims and sketch their faces. They're sinister, but Shin fearlessly attacks them. Sonji threatens him like Bacho did Sakamoto, but Shin knows it won't kill the world's top assassin. When Bacho strikes, Sakamoto counters with a blow 20 times stronger. The roof shatters, leaving Chiaotang stunned. Like the eerie twins, they're impatient, demanding Chiaotang hand over the key or face her parents' fate. They did to her parents. Enraged, Chiaotang moves to attack, but Sakamoto stops her. Chiaotang's fury grows, facing her parents' killers. Sonji hurls a knife at her, but Sakamoto intercepts it. Sonji says he just wanted to send her to heaven with her parents. Chiaotang asks why he's helping her. Then a memory comes to Sakamoto. It's Christmas night. Sakamoto brought Ahoy a gift, but she noticed blood on his hands. She realizes he bought this gift at the cost of killing people, and she can't accept that. As Sakamoto kept killing, Ahoy says goodbye, stating their love won't work. Ahoy jumps from the building, and Sakamoto rushes to save her. He succeeds. Ahoy did this to show Sakamoto how people act when loved ones are in danger. Everyone loves, and it's wrong to end that love. She tells Sakamoto to stop killing and instead save lives to make up for those he's taken. That's the family rule. Shin cries upon learning the origin of this rule. The assassin twins launch their special killing move on Sakamoto, but he dodges it effortlessly. The only pain he feels is from his muscles due to all the movement, but Shin's there to patch up his minor scrapes. The brothers lose it and decide to use their secret deadly technique. Only 3 people ever saw it, and none lived to tell the tale. But Sakamoto's even less patient and quickly dispatches Bacho. He disarms Sonji, who desperately seeks Keotang to kill her, but Shin stops him. To finish it off, Sakamoto drops a fridge on Sonji. They defeat the killer twins, while the boss frantically tries to open the vault. Sakamoto and crew arrive. Keotang threatens the boss for destroying her clan. In the end, they just use him as a punching bag. After beating him to a pulp, Keotang feels satisfied. Shin says it's not enough and he wants to teach her a lesson too. But Sakamoto stops him by breaking his neck, though only in his mind. Shin's getting tired of asking him to stop killing him mentally. Keotang says that's enough. As his dad said, you can't always kill those who annoy you. It's better to choose a happy life. Keotang opens the vault, revealing jewels and items of economic and sentimental value. But Keotang finds the best treasure, a liquor jug with a message on it. It was written by his father. It says the liquor is saved for when Keotang comes of age, so they can drink together. Keotang tears up. While there, Keotang toasts with them to thank them for their help. The next day, Sakamoto's hungover and Keotang arrives to start working at the store. Shin asks why he works when his vault's treasures provide enough wealth. Keotang won't use ancestral items. Sakamoto shares the family's sacred rule with Shin, now considered a member. The only rule is no killing. If Shin breaks this rule, Sakamoto says he'll kill him. Shin points out the contradiction. Killing him would break the no-killing rule. Elsewhere, word spreads about a bounty on Sakamoto's head. The reward increases by 1 billion yen.